Greetings. So we're going to talk to you about the BMW N54 single turbo manifold that we built. One of the reasons we want to do this is our previous video, which we get questions about all the time, with the white 135i in it, where we adapted a kit from America for a left-hand drive car to fit the right-hand drive car. It worked, but it cost more than it needed to for the customer, and we had a few different methods to try and improve it to work as best as it could do with a right-hand drive car. What we've come up with is this. So this is a 3-piece manifold. So it consists of one piece here, and then a link pipe, effectively, which the turbo sits on top with a T4 twin scroll flange on it. So there's a few little details we need to talk about. The main thing is, one of the reasons is, why is it in 3 pieces, Mike?
It's in 3 pieces because you can't fit it in the car in 1 piece. That is why.
So basically, you can't, like this, you can't get it into the gap where it's got to go and bolt it up. So it's been built in 3 bits, so you bolt the 2 3-into-1 manifolds on, and then the 3rd piece. Just makes it really easy, well, possible and easier to fit. A couple other things we've done to it as well. Do you want to tell me about the flanges?
So the flanges we cut out of 10mm stainless steel.
So what we use on all our other manifolds as well.
On all our other manifolds, yeah. We don't, on these manifolds, the flange isn't actually used to seal against the block like a usual car is. They actually have gaskets that sit inside the head, which is more like a motorcycle would work. We could actually have got away with using 6mm thick plate instead of the 10mm thick that we have used here. However, we like to give a lifetime warranty with all our manifolds. So to ensure that you get the best, most long-lasting manifold you can buy, we made them out of 10mm thick.
Yeah, we kind of decided that 6mm should work in most applications. However, we went for 10mm because we want it to work in every application. Even though it has got like a lifetime warranty on it, it's still obviously a pain to have to take it all off, have it repaired or replaced. It's just time you're not being able to drive your car really. So we went down the reliability route rather than the easier route, I suppose. And we also had a little trick where we can still use the standard BMW head studs and nuts, which wouldn't have been possible with 10mm. You want to tell us a little bit what we've done, how we've done it?
Yeah, so basically we've just drilled into the flange along these bits. So the actual seating face of the nut that will hold your manifold to the block is still 6mm deep. So you can still use all of your original BMW studs and nuts, and we've nicely made it so that you can get to each and every nut on here when you put the 2 manifolds on first with the socket, just basically to make your life easier.
Yeah, so rather than having to mess around with cut down studs and spending an hour with your fingertips trying to do one bolt like a 1/10 of a turn at a time, we've just tried to make it easy, because when we build these things we have to fit them 10, 15, 20 times.
Yes,
and it
yes
makes,
I do.
it makes our life easier, it helps make your life easier as well. So with some of these kits we see them with twin wastegates.
Yes.
Why have we gone for a single?
So the American kit that you can buy, or the American kits that you can buy, usually come with 2 wastegates, and they're 2 40mm wastegates usually, which are something like that. And the reason they do this is so that you can bleed off one off of each side, and you've got quite a bit more room not having a steering column in a left-hand drive car. So that's basically how they do it, and then you can run 2 screamer pipes down underneath the subframe. We decided not to go for this for 2 reasons. One, because with the steering column there, 2 wastegates don't fit. So we decided to opt for one quite a bit larger wastegate that sits out the front.
So the kit's built around a 50mm Turbo Smart Pro gate. We chose Turbo Smart because we have great track record with their products on this kind of thing. We've never had any failures or anything. Use on our own cars, we use them on everything. So we went for the brand that we kind of trust and recommend. We can build it to suit a different wastegate if you prefer. Just have to do it to order rather than we won't have an on-the-shelf kit to do that.
Another great bonus of having a single wastegate over twins is the heat dissipation in one large wastegate is much better. So the longevity that one wastegate will last is much greater than two smaller wastegates that are tucked in and around hot stuff.
Yeah, see, heat's always going to be a problem with this kit because there is not a lot of room in there for these bigger turbos. However, a big advantage of using the bigger turbo over two smaller ones, especially if you want more power, is two hybrid ones tucked all the way down here on the engine produces a lot more heat, whereas at least up here it's kind of in the airflow, there's a bit more space around it, and the turbo itself is bigger, stronger, so it should be a lot more reliable and durable than two hybrid twins. So the wastegate on our kit basically fits out here, and then the screamer comes down the front, is the sort of bottom of the block. One of the reasons so on some of the kits you see, the wastegates will be twin and they'll be out here. Now we couldn't do that because one of the things we wanted to do on our kit was to run a 3.5 inch downpipe, and there is only one place that downpipe can go, and it has to go down under the engine mount. It will not fit through through where the steering column goes on a traditional kind of turbo setup. We couldn't get a 3 inch through that, could we?
We couldn't even get a 3 inch.
No, we couldn't even get a 3 inch, and to be honest, if you can't get the 3.5 in with the gas flow out, then the kit's a non-starter really, because you're never going to get the potential out of it. You may as well stick with sort of hybrids or even the stock turbos and just push them a bit harder. Whereas allowing to have a 3.5 inch downpipe, I mean, that should make the kit capable of potentially up to sort of 1,000, maybe even a bit more horsepower with the right setup to go down that route, rather than being, I mean, what do we, 3 inch generally limits, we find 550,
600 at the max.
And it's getting a lot hotter as well at that point.
Yeah, you start seeing really high EGTs with that.
So downpipe is quite tricky. One of the other problems with the kit is that in such a tight room, again, fitting it all together, which is why we have
a two-piece downpipe.
Two-piece downpipe. So it's in two pieces, so that this part goes on the turbo, so that goes in the back of the turbo, so your firewall's back here. So you bolt that on in one place, and then from underneath the car, you then slide.
You have to feed this in that sort of motion, and they slot together, just like that.
As you can see from this design, there's no way you're going to get this down through
in one hit.
In one hit,
it's impossible.
It's not going to work. And then currently we have the kit available. It's got a V-band ring, so you can build your 3.5 inch full system off of there. We can make it so that it goes into like a standard system, but to get the most out of it, you really want like a 3.5 all the way through. Or at least down the main part of the car and split it off into two sort of 3 inches. Do you recommend at the back?
Roughly 2-3 inch.
So we can always do that, or your local fabricator, local exhaust place can do that for you. Once you get to this point of the exhaust, everything gets a lot more simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Once it's there, you can just basically come straight out of there and then into either an aftermarket system or a system that we build for you. 3.5 inches obviously recommended.
And the reason we chose to use a slip joint here rather than a V-band, again, is space. You can't get the V-band in there, you can't get the top piece down into the right position, and also you can't really get your hand in there to do it up or undo it, and that'll especially become a problem if you're in the UK, give it a few years on sort of salty roads, that kind of thing, a bit of heat, lots of cooling, lots more heat and cooling. It'll become very difficult to undo, and extremely difficult to undo with the space that's space that's available. So the slip joint, I think, is going to work quite well for now. We have also got the two lambda buns in the top, and there are two on the two in the manifold. So you can utilise the stock sort of management. Some people use like a JB4, which will work. However, I mean, the best option to get the most out of it is to use currently the Cybex N54 plugin, which is kind of your ultimate option. I'm sure more will come out probably minutes after you release this video. So hopefully some other guys will come up with some cool stuff there. Anything else we need to talk about with it?
That's about it. Basically, it's essentially it's a kit that's built to last and built to be able to provide you with as much power as possible. So there's no other kits that we're aware of that are commercially available for right-hand drive cars that actually work and also are able to use a 3.5-inch downpipe.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a perfect world it would be slightly different, but unfortunately BMW didn't leave us enough room for that. So we had to kind of pick some priorities, one of which was a 3.5-inch downpipe, which meant a single wastegate was a better option there. And I mean, sometimes obviously one-piece manifolds without the bolts and bits. It's become a little bit simpler and a bit cheaper, but however, we would have gone down that route, but it's just not possible. So we picked off the things we wanted, which was power, basically, which everyone wants.
Power and reliability.
Power and reliability, and that's where we've come up with the kit that we've got here. If you've got any questions, do give us a call, drop us an email, comment in the video, tell us what you like, what you maybe don't like. We'll always be able to give you an answer for why we've done it like this, if there's any questions. But yeah, that's our N54 kit.
Yes, indeed.